kids, it's me again, Teacher Chris, and I will be your teacher for today. Our lesson is all about Grade 4 English using MATATAG curriculum. And we are now in Quarter 2, Week 3, Day 1. Our topic for today is all about expressing ideas appropriately for one's purpose, context, and ideas. Are you ready to learn your lesson today? If yes, let's do it! Lesson objectives. Identify and note the important details, characters, settings, events of a narrative story, and explain how these details contribute to the overall meaning of the story. Next is use appropriate nonverbal cues such as facial expressions and gestures when narrating a short story to enhance clarity and convey emotions to your audience. And the last one is demonstrate respect for diversity by expressing ideas in culturally sensitive and gender responsive manner when sharing stories or personal experiences with classmates. So let's start the day one. Imagine you and your friends are from different parts of the world. You all speak different languages at home, eat different kinds of food, and celebrate different festivals. But when you all come together, you share these differences and learn about each other's cultures. This is what we call cultural diversity when people from different backgrounds, traditions, and customs come together and share their experiences. Just like in real life, stories also tell us about characters from different backgrounds, different places, and how they face different events or challenges. Today, we're going to learn how to identify the important details of a story such as characters, settings, and events, and see how these details help us understand the story better, especially when the story involves cultural diversity. So let us read aloud Amira and Juan's new friendship. Amira has just moved from Egypt to the Philippines. It was her first day at a new school, and she felt nervous. She wore a beautiful hijab that her grandmother had gifted her, but she worried that the other kids might not understand why she wore it. As she entered the classroom, Juan, a boy who loved playing basketball, noticed her. He had never seen someone wearing a hijab before but thought it looked very pretty. During lunch, Juan sat beside Amira and asked her about Egypt. Amira happily shared stories about the pyramids, Egyptian food, and her family's customs. In return, Juan told her about Filipino festivals like Ahiyas and Sinulog, and how his family celebrated Christmas with a big feast. Even though they came from different cultures, Amira and Juan became friends and learned a lot from each other. At the end of the day, Juan invited Amira to play basketball with his friends. Amira smiled. I've never played basketball before, but but I'd love to learn. The two laughed and went off to play, excited to share even more about their worlds with each other. So let's break down the important details of this story, characters, settings, and events, and see how they help us understand the overall meaning of the story. Okay, class. So yung kaninang binasa natin na story about kay Amira and Juan, ngayon, i-breakdown natin yung mga important details or yung mga importanting detalye doon sa story tulad ng characters, settings, and events. So, Napaliwanag ko na ito ng paulit-ulit pero syempre, hihimay-himayin natin. So makinig kayo mabuti kasi after nito, I will give you an activity on how to break down or how to note important details from the story. Okay? So let's begin from the characters. So who are the people in the story? So when we say characters, the characters are the people or sometimes animals or creatures in the story. In this case, the main characters are, so lagi yung tatandaan class kapag sinabi natin characters, eto yung mga tao o yung mga hayop o kung ano man ang bagay yung nandoon sa story. So in this story, Amira are one of the characters. So Amira is a new student from Egypt who just moved to the Philippines. She wears a hijab, which is part of her cultural tradition. The other character is Juan, a Filipino boy who loves playing basketball and is curious about Amira's culture. So how do the characters contribute to the story? So paano ba yung mga characters na yon nag-contribute sa story? So ano ba yung naging ambag nila doon sa story? Ano ba yung naging ganap nila doon sa story? So both Amira and Juan come from different cultural backgrounds. By introducing us to these characters, the story highlights cultural diversity. Okay, so pag sinabi natin cultural diversity, yung pagkakaiba nyo ng mga culture, pagkakaiba nyo ng paniniwala. So since si Juan at si Amira ay galing sa magkaibang bansa, meron silang pagkakaibang culture o paniniwala. So, ganun po ibig sabihin ng cultural diversity. So, Amira shares her Egyptian culture with Juan, while Juan shares his Filipino traditions with Amira. This exchange of culture shows how differences can lead to new friendships and understanding. So, as you can see, kasi sa ating lesson objective for today is kasali dyan yung cultural diversity. So, kaya siya kasali, ibig sabihin kahit magkaiba kayo ng pinagmulan na bansa, magkaiba kayo ng culture na kinalakihan, magkaiba kayo ng paniniwala na kinalakihan, pinakita sa story na to na kayo ay pwedeng maging magkaibigan. Setting. Where and when does the story take place? So the setting is where and when the story happens. So kapag sinabi nating setting, saan at kailan nangyari yung story? Saan ba siya ginanap? Ano bang araw yun? Anong date? Ano bang meron? Yun po yung tinatawag natin setting. So in this story, the story is set in a school in the Philippines. And time, the story happens during Amira's first day at school during the school day. So mamaya kapag kayo ay pinagawa ko ng activity, ayan, so dapat i-indicate nyo kapag tinanong daw na what is the setting of the story, ilagay nyo kung saan yung place at kung saan yung time. Okay? Why is the setting important? The school setting is important because it's where Amira and Juan meet and share their cultures. So schools are places where many people from different backgrounds come together, making it the perfect place to highlight cultural diversity. The story teaches us that school is not just a place to learn subjects, but also a place to learn about each other cultures and traditions. Okay, so sa settings ng story na to, sa school siya ginanap. No? So dito, makikita natin na ang school ay hindi lang para makapag-aral tayo academically, matuto tayo academically. So dito, itong settings natin na school ay pwede rin siyang maging platform or maging venue para makakilala tayo or matuto tayo ng ibang culture at tradition sa iba natin mga kaklase. Okay? Events. What happens in the story? So the events of the story are what the characters do and what happens to them. So kapag sinabi nating events, hihimay-himay na natin kung ano ang nangyari sa story na ito. Okay? So in this story, Una, Amira feels nervous on her first day of school. Next is Juan notices her and asks her about her culture. And they share stories about their cultural backgrounds. Amira talks about Egypt and Juan talks about the Philippines. And they become friends and decided to play basketball together. As you can see, kapag tinanong ko ang events, so itukwento nyo or isa-summarize nyo kung ano ba yung una, pangalawa, pangatlo, at panghuling nangyari sa story. Okay? How do the events contribute to the story's message? So, paano ba nakakapag-contribute ang isang story or isang event sa story's message? So, the events of the story show how Amira and Juan overcame their differences by being curious and open to learn about each other's culture. Okay? These events teach us that even if we come from different places or celebrate different traditions, we can still become friends and learn from one another. This highlights the value of cultural diversity, the idea that differences make us stronger and help us grow. So dito, sa story na to, hindi lang tayo natuto paano mag-note ng mga important details ng isang story, but dito, itong story na to ay tinuturo nito kung paano or kung gaano kahalaga ang isang cultural diversity. Okay? So dito, kahit ibig sabihin, kahit magkakaiba kayo ng paniniwala, magkakaiba kayo ng tradition, magkaiba kayo ng religion, magkaiba kayo ng bansang pinagmulan, it will not be a barrier or hadlang para kayo ay maging magkaibigan. So how important details contribute to the overall meaning of the story? So, characters. Amira, ayan, so paano, papaliwanag natin dito kung paano itong mga importanteng detalye ay nakakontribute sa totoong story. I mean, ano ba to? Tinuro lang ba to? Pinakita lang ba to story nito para ikwento? So, ano ba ang word niya? So, in this case, characters, Amira and Juan's friendship teaches us that we should appreciate and respect people come from different cultures. Their willingness to learn about each other helps them become friends. About the setting, the school setting represents a place where cultural diversity can flourish by showing us how Amira and Juan share their cultures in this space. The story also emphasizes the importance of learning from each other. Events or the key events. Sharing cultures, playing basketball show us that by being open-minded and respectful, we can form meaningful relationships with people from different backgrounds. So ano naman ang kahalagahan ng cultural diversity? The cultural diversity and its importance. So in this story, we see how cultural diversity enriches both Amira and Juan lives. By sharing their cultural traditions, they learn more about the world and form a strong friendship. This reflects a real life where our world is full of people from different cultures, and respecting and appreciating these differences makes our community stronger and more understanding. Alright? So let us now have our reflection. Now that we've identified the important details of the story, such as characters, settings, and events, let's think about how we can apply these ideas in our own lives. How can you be like Juan and Amira? Can you think of someone in your life who has a different culture or background? How can you show respect and learn from them? Alright? By understanding the details of a story, we not only appreciate the story itself, but also the valuable lesson it teaches us about the world around us. So ano po ibig sabihin nun? So it meaning to say, class, when you are reading a story, huwag kayong magbasa lang. So intindihin natin yung story. And then let's reflect or isipin natin, ano bang moral lesson ang matututunan ko sa story na? Alright? So let's have a short quiz. So read each question carefully and choose the best answer from the options provided. So you can get a grade 4 pad paper and write the letter of your answer. So let's try if you can answer the following question. Okay. Number 1. Who is the main character who moved to a new school in the story? Letter A, Juan. Letter B, Amira. Letter C, Maria. And letter D, Ali. All right. The correct answer is letter B, Amira. Number 2. Where does the story take place? A. In a park. B. In a school. C. In one's house. And letter D. In Egypt. All right. The correct answer is letter B. In a school. Number 3. What does Amira wear that shows her cultural tradition? A. A hat. B. A hijab. C. A dress. D. A bracelet. All right. The correct answer is letter B. A hijab. Number 4. What activity do Amira and Juan decide to do together at the end of the story? A. Sing a song. B. Draw pictures. C. Play basketball. And letter D. Eat lunch. All right. The correct answer is letter C. Play basketball. Number 5. Why was Amira nervous on her first day of school? A. She didn't like school. B. She was worried that no one would understand her culture. C. She didn't have friends. And letter D. She didn't do her homework. Alright, the correct answer is letter B. She was worried that no one would understand her culture. Number 6. What does one talk about with Amira? Letter A. Egyptian culture. B. Filipino festivals like Pahiyas and Sinulog. Letter C. His favorite book. And letter D. His family vacation. Alright, the correct answer is letter B. Filipino festivals like Pahiyas and Sinulog. Number 7. Why is it important for Amira and Juan to share their cultures with each other? Letter A. So they can argue about who has the best traditions. Letter B. To understand and respect each other's differences. Letter C. So they can be more competitive in school. And letter D. To avoid talking to others. Alright. The correct answer is letter B. To understand and respect each other's differences. Number 8. What is the message of the story about Amira and Juan? Letter A. Friendship is built by ignoring differences. B. Sharing and learning about each other's cultures can help build friendships. And letter C. Only people from the same background can be friends. Letter D. Is it important to win in basketball games? Alright, the correct answer is letter B. Sharing and learning about each other's cultures can help build friendships. Number 9. What part of the story shows that Amira and Juan came from different cultures? Letter A. When they first meet. Letter B. When they share stories about Egypt and the Philippines. Letter C. When they play basketball. And letter D. When they leave school. Alright, the correct answer is letter B, when they share stories about Egypt and the Philippines. And the last question is, how can understanding cultural diversity help us in real life? Letter A, it teaches us to avoid people from different cultures. Letter B, it helps us make friends and learn from others. Letter C, it makes us better at sports. And letter D, it teaches us how to be the best in class. So what is the correct answer? All right, the correct answer is letter B. It helps us make friends and learn from others. All right, did you get them all correct? If yes, good job! That's all for today. I hope you learn a lot on our today's lesson. Once again, I am Teacher Chris. See you tomorrow. Bye!